Hello, welcome to Ancient Voice Rising. I am your host, Hera Diani. I welcome you here in love and grace. And if you are interested, I offer one-on-one sessions. So if you're interested in exploring what comes up for you after this transmissions through this podcast, I offer you to go to my website at ancientvoicerising.com and click on the book online. You can't actually book online. It will give you a phone number to text me at, and we will set up your appointment. Thank you. Today, we have on Dustin Ostrander. He is an entrepreneur. He is a wonderful brother, um, and on a journey of a lifetime. Today, with Dustin, we're going to get into um, some journey tricks, and how to lead and love with an open heart, letting down the shield that we have all been taught to hold. I'm excited to hear his journey, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. Thank you. Hi, Dustin. Welcome to Ancient Voice Rising.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm honored. Honored. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing amazing. I've had a quite a change and shift in my life. It was like it accelerated very rapidly and shedded quite rapidly. But yeah, I've had a quite a change, a shift in life. So
All
uh,
right. So, would you like to go into a little bit about that?
and
And I would love to hear, in some of our conversations, you've talked about going into shamanic journeys. And we didn't go into that in the last one that we did. So, I'd love to hear about some of your experiences. Um, with that to share with the viewers.
yeah, I will tie it all right into one.
Okay. Well, the floor is yours.
So I finished up this last relationship. It was a for sure part of a cycle and part of something that I was going through and finishing up. So I went into like I had been struggling in this relationship for almost 2 years with Christine and could not for the life of me like figure out like how to help, how to fix it, how to change. Like I'm in this constant pattern of trying to change myself to fit this person that I just wasn't a vibrationally a match with or alignment with. Like I constantly repeating myself in this loop. So I was like, I'm like, I gotta figure something out. Like this is insanity, 2 years of this and never being able to figure out how to align with each other. And so finally I just like gave in. And so my buddy Garth, he goes and he sees this shaman and a couple other people. And so I was just like, I have done mushroom therapy. I've done just about everything.
Do
And I
you?
finally found like I got to a place and like I just was so lost. I was like, I didn't know what to do. So I reached out to this lady, her name's Cypress. Amazing woman. She's this very powerful shaman and she does Reiki and all these other modalities. And I end up going and seeing her and I tell her, I'm like, I feel like this is a like a betrayal wound. So, you know what I mean? I feel like every time I get into a relationship, I feel like these women, every time I feel like they're not giving me what I need, like I almost shut down and turn against them. Like I feel like it's like coming from fucking betrayal. And so,
So
and I thought I healed that.
you're keeping this within yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
good deal.
so I thought I kept like bringing that into the relationships, but I thought I healed that because so when I was 8 years old, I had a bowel blockage. And for like 4 days, I laid there knowing, I think even kind of shared this on my last one with you. I laid there for 4 days, not knowing really what's happening or even what's going on. And where my intuition was born because I knew something was happening and I knew
Mhm.
something was going on. And so I thought I had forgiven my mother and like she didn't know no better. She thought I was just sick. And the only way she knew how to take care of me is the way she was raised to take care of, So it's like, it's just a generational pattern. And so I was like, I forgave her for that. And so I thought I did. I go, I go see this shaman and I do this soul retrieval. I've done other soul retrievals, but this was the first one where I went in with intention. Like I was like, I gotta like figure some shit out. So I went in there for that and she does this soul retrieval. She goes in and she finds these bits and pieces of soul and she finds out like, hey, you have this 8-year-old and then that I've healed. That's the trauma that I'm talking about. And
Right.
then you also have this 14-year-old that hasn't healed. And the 14-year-old is actually protecting the 8-year-old because you've never made peace. Like in that time, life was so chaotic. It's just like this gap. And the 14-year-old's like protecting the 8-year-old at this point. She's like, so you got to make peace with the 14-year-old in order to for him to let go and start parenting the 8-year-old. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
So then I sat after this whole thing, man, I sat for days with myself processing things and and I realized I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm attracting I'm attracting my fucking mom because I've never essentially closed that wound or healed that. Like I, I was 14, 15 years old. I'm the man in my house because my father's drinking and out bar or work. And so I I just like I'm like I had this I was the man at the house. And so when I started dating and having relationships, my mom essentially started getting jealous. And so she started to sabotaging my relationships. And I never got that. I never understood that.
Oh,
And so then it hit me. I'm like, holy shit. I became
did you
competition.
find
Every
out?
woman that I brought into the house, my mom saw as competition. Like
Oh,
they were going to take me out of her house, and which
oh,
is what happened. And when that happened, my mom literally would sabotage my relationships. I would bring women over to my house or her house, and every time I had done that, she would say shit to him about me, like say like plant seeds. And for a while in my relationships, I would tell women because I didn't want to believe that shit. I would tell them that you're crazy. You're crazy. And as the relationships through my life got better, more healed, more honest, more trusting, I'm like hearing this from women that I'm like, I know for a fact would not lie to me. And so I start listening and hearing, and then I start catching this shit. And so throughout my life, I've distanced myself from her because I'm like, I can't deal with this behavior. You know what I
mm,
mean? I can't tolerate that. And even our last interaction, her sister died. And I was like, I was actually in the halfway house and I was gonna get out of work in the halfway house to go spend time with her. And so I was like, went to go send her this text, and I'm like, I went to go send my boss a text first. I was like, hey, Chris, I'm not coming in. My mom's sister died. I'm gonna go spend time with my mom. And I sent it to my mom. And so she gets that text, and my mom is like, she's like, fuck you. You're not going to come do anything with me. You're going to go to work. You're not going to use my sister's death as a reason to get out of work. And I was like, holy shit.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. And so after that, they wouldn't let me go to her funeral. They didn't let me, they closed me out. I was like, holy shit. So but it was a blessing in disguise because it gave me separation from her to realize like, holy shit. And then the halfway house at one point gets my phone and they took it and just go through it randomly and they looked through it and they were like, my case manager's like, I would strongly suggest that you not contact your mom until like things are either figured out. She's like, but that is not healthy. And so I realized, so after that shamanic journey, like me and Christine, it was like before Thanksgiving. We broke up for a little bit, but we had already bought plane tickets to Pennsylvania. So we've like kind of got back together to go to Pennsylvania because my son was going with us. And like in that like that separation that we had in between there a little bit, I was able to start seeing patterns and behaviors. I was like, holy shit, like I've never set boundaries within a relationship that don't protect me from that type of energy and behavior. So I'm attracting that in my relationship with the women in my life.
So
And
you're
so,
taking ownership for it.
yeah. And so
Okay.
I'm like, if I'm not allowing that to happen, it's just going to keep happening and coming at me unless
Mm.
I'm just like, hey, this is what I need. These are my boundaries. And so that's when we tried to get back together. That's how I was like, well, here, if we're going to attempt to make this back together, like I need this so that I don't have this. Right. And we couldn't get back together after that. It just didn't align. And that separation has been like, it was huge for me to see, like, I can walk with someone side by side on their journey, but I can't heal or change you or do shit for you unless you're open to receive what I can give or offer you. And she
So
wasn't in that place.
what surprised what surprised you about yourself the most during this transition? And we're going to stop with um, um, naming. Okay.
Got
So,
it.
yeah. Um, but what is like what comes up for me in hearing this is what surprised you about yourself the most during that transition time of that realization
I
and the final
so
end there.
so I learned like I think through all of this, I learned to find myself. Like I found like I like it's crazy because I go through life and I go and I have these you have these successful moments and you have
Yeah.
these times of like where it's great and great. And so then like I had to go through this relationship to look back and be like and honor those times and be like, this is who I am. I'm not this person. You know what I mean? That this person is trying to make me become. I'm this person. And so it gave me a chance to step back and see my own self and stand up in my own power and start setting boundaries and be like, I won't tolerate this behavior. I will not put up with this. And so I mean, I was able to start seeing and stepping into my own power. And so
Okay.
in doing that, I also learned that I have to parent and I have to build a self container for myself. If I can't build a safe container for myself and parent my inner child, then I can never be a safe space or safe container for someone else in life. I will be constantly be in a state of chaos and I will be inviting chaos back into my container. So it's like I had to learn how to love myself, stand up, protect myself, set boundaries, and know my worth and my value. And it's like once that starts happening, everything kind of starts falling back into alignment.
Yeah. So, what would you say the hardest part? The hardest
I
part was for you. Um,
Oh my God, it is setting boundaries. You know how weird it feels? Like
it
when you
does. It's
when you have literally just fucking giving and giving and giving and giving and not giving a fuck how people treat you or how they see you, and you just agree to everything just to make everyone happy, you don't realize that's fucking toxic. Like, it is so fucking not healthy because you're actually manipulating and giving one person one thing, but you're dishonoring and disvaluing yourself
Yeah.
because you're saying something for them but not for you. And
It's
so in
shrinking.
learning how to,
So it makes you shrink.
it does. And so finally learning, like,
You gotta,
every time you're like, nope, I'm not going to do that. I love myself. And boundaries aren't to like throw at someone else to keep someone
right.
else. They're for you. A
Yeah.
boundary is to protect you and your heart. And you're like, I will
Mm,
not within me tolerate this anymore. I love myself more than I will put up with this shit anymore. And
mm.
so once you start doing that and that starts shifting and changing, it feels so fucking weird. Like, I felt so guilty. I'm like, God, like, because you see that boundary put down and then you see that person, like, it affects them. Like,
Hmm.
it fucking affects them because they no longer have that energetic tie to you anymore. And so, like, that's hard.
I know it very well.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's crazy in a relationship. Like, if you're in a relationship and you don't have two people growing
Mm.
and you have one person growing and that person setting boundaries, you grow your ass right out of the relationship. Like, it is like putting up a wall.
What did you learn that you didn't expect to learn out of all of
I,
this?
oh
Like,
my
what is,
God, polarities. Oh my God, I knew shit about polarities. Like, I feel and understand and resonate with, like, energy. I understand energy. I've always understood energy. And I learning that in a relationship and learning that, like, masculine feminine dynamic has been something special.
interesting? Could you ever, do you recognize the polarities within you, the unified one?
Yeah. I can I know that when it originally kind of shifted and changed and kind of came into balance was when I was, like, sick and I had to start healing myself. That's when my feminine came in and, you know what I mean, started
Mhm.
nurturing and helping me guide me on my healing journey. So, yeah. And then I know getting into a relationship with someone, I learned a very valuable lesson. Someone that's not in that same balance, you're inviting them into that field. It's chaos.
Mhm.
And you have, if you have two masculine energies and you have one that's not willing to surrender and allow one to lead and the other one to follow, it's chaos. And
So, so
unfortunately,
you
like,
couldn't get in that dance
you
of
can't
that
get
surrender and to work
flow. Yeah.
together,
Yeah, the
together
divine
instead of
flow.
instead of bumping
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that
And
with
I
my
think
like
it's
in
a,
my own experience.
well, and I learned, like, it's a major thing in society. Like, there's such a depolarization movement in society to
Mm.
take men and take their masculinity away from them, take women and put them in their masculinity. It's like this, it's just happened in society. It's like this deprogramming, and they've taken men out of the kids' lives and the women's lives and made the women become the men in the mom, everything. The woman has become everything.
Well, if one wants to, I guess if they've been in one polarity more than the other, it could be beneficial to get that balanced.
Yeah,
Like yeah,
exactly.
and I speak that from my experience.
Yeah,
You know, coming back out into the world and working on being independent. Um, has been, it's not easy when you've been in your feminine in that role for so long.
right.
Um, there towards the end, I started creating businesses after business. And then I was like, if I need to stand next to you equally.
Yeah.
And it was never, I can be the wife, the housewife, and work from home and be with you equally.
Yeah.
And it just, I get it. It, it just kept
It
bouncing
becomes
off.
competition.
You know, it's kind of what it felt like. It felt like, like every time he would come in the door, I would say, "Hey, how was your day?" And not once did he ask me how my day went.
Right.
But that taught me something, that I was looking through the eyes of love and kindness and generosity and compassion, for my partner.
Hmm.
And then finally, after a couple hours, I would just tell him how my day was. And I asked him a while back, I said, "Do you realize, like, you never asked how my day was? And when you came home," and he said, "Well, I know how it went." And I said, "Well, how do you know how it went? Do you know what I've done today?" You know, and it could have been a day I made $800 in services, or it could have been a day that, was challenging.
Yeah.
So it
It's
would,
this, it's a dance for sure.
it really is. And that's where I was getting ready to go with it. It is a dance, a partnership, a
Yeah.
collaboration. And I believe that once we start seeing the collaboration and let go of the controlling of the situation and allow it to fluidly move as it's supposed to, as it's meant to.
Right. See,
Um,
I learned that that's the hardest part is when a female, like in her feminine, starts to get into that provider role, she almost energetically loses trust for her man. And then the man
mhm.
lowers
Why do
down
you
to
say that?
do what?
What makes you say that? I'm
The
curious.
say what? Oh,
Mhm.
okay, so it's a pole position. So it's just because the feminine can't surrender to the masculine if she can't trust him.
Oh,
And
okay.
so if the feminine is providing, then she has taken over that position and that role. And so that fluid and fluidity is stopped. Now she's blocking the fluid within the relationship. And a lot of times at that point, the man, the masculine, starts to see it as competition. And a
Mm,
lot of it sometimes is societal programming has taught men they shame ourselves. Like, oh my God, she's working now. I'm not enough. I don't, you know what I mean? So we start shaming ourselves internally, like she's taking care of this stuff now. Now she's the it just it's this internal shame that men start picking up and building. And then we start seeing women as competition. It's
mm,
like we're not seeing you in that relationship dynamic anymore. Now we don't feel worthy enough within ourselves. And so the relationship dynamic essentially shifts and changes. And now, unless a man can figure out how to get up out of that and start leading his feminine properly, you're kind of in this loop. Like I've been in it.
yeah, when we got married, it was a commitment of, I was going to be a housewife. That's
Right.
what that's what we agreed to.
Exactly.
And I got really tired of being a housewife because there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And so then he started telling me to go get a job, to go
Yeah.
outside of the house and go get a job instead of supporting the
Creative.
geniusness of my businesses
Feminine.
that I was creating.
The creative of the
I was helping
feminine.
so
Yes.
many people, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, I would have people on the phone with me with a gun to their head and I would
So,
talk them down. I mean, it was like every day.
yeah.
And it would have, and so it was that you've got to go outside of the house to get a job.
That's programming. Yeah.
You've got to do this. You've got to do it like this. And the control just finally, I was like, no, I don't have to do it like that.
Right.
I can,
Well, and so in relationships, like I didn't know this. I learned this in my last relationship. And the proper way to do that is to see why, check on your feelings. Like the feminine is an emotional being. She's like
Mhm.
this that's how you operate, is on a feelings and emotions. And man, a lot of times we don't know that. Not a lot of times, we don't know that. We don't understand that. We process emotions, we move on, we're warriors, we're fighting, we're in battle. We don't check on you. And so when you were feeling like that, he should have tried to check on how you were feeling and see what you wanted to do, and and
Yeah.
and and been inspired by that and encouraged you to go on that. Instead, due to programming, he's like, "Oh, you're bored? Go get a fucking job." And so what does that do? That automatically puts you in your masculine. You're like,
Yeah.
"Okay, now I'm in fucking survival. I got a fucking shield on. I don't trust you because here I was supposed to trust you. You told me I was going to stay home and do all this shit." It's fucked up. Like
And that's
programming.
funny because I stopped. I said, okay, you do your laundry, I do my laundry. My daughter
Right.
does her laundry. I stopped doing the dishes every day. I stopped cleaning the house every day.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where I just sat
Yeah.
and I was like,
Cause you
I'm done.
cause you felt failed. Like, yeah.
I did. I did feel, I just felt unseen and I felt like I was a failure and that I
Yeah.
wasn't a good wife. Why didn't I want to get up and clean the house? Why, So I focused on my dogs.
Yeah.
And then finally, the lease was coming to an end at where we were. And it was like, and we had already had one of our dogs pass. The other one was not far behind. And as soon as we made the decision, I lit a peace candle. And that day, within an hour of lighting the peace candle, she was in the vet and she died. And within a month, me and my daughter were here in Florida from North Carolina.
Yeah.
And it has been, needless to say, some of the toughest mental construction breakdowns that I've ever experienced. And he's just happy. He's
Yeah.
alone. He's got his own apartment and he's happy. He's doing his own thing. And I'm like, okay. So it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's interesting how those dynamics work when you've got someone that's willing to walk the road less traveled is the road with least resistance.
I I have sat here through this process. I've also walked this process with other people that were on that going through the same thing
Yeah, but
relationship wise. And I was able to watch them and see that. And one thing I can tell you through my observations is the feminine is fucking resilient. She is fucking loyal and she will kill herself for her man. So and it's fucking it's painfully beautiful and awful all at the same fucking time. It's like
mm,
I have a friend who she's going through a similar relationship and with a person who avoids sharing and expressing, and it's like like you it's that's like a form you're putting up with that, and it's a form of abuse and not self-love because that person's refusing to communicate with you. And so like part of that is learning, hey, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I'm going to love myself and I'm going to do better. But I like she won't, like it's like this grueling it's like I'm watching it eat her soul away, and it's just
mm,
like it's tough. It's
that's
tough.
what it felt like. That's what it felt like. Um, we moved here in March last year, and that January, right after Jersey passed, for me, for a month, like I was just it 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 felt like everything had been everything had been stripped away, and I was just a shell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, the universal will detoxify you. So for a month, I was sick. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know how I'm going to get the house packed. I don't know how this is going to happen. It's going to happen. But bam, I mean, I'll tell you, as soon as the time started moving closer to the date, it was like boom, 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 boom. And then all of the financials started lining up as well. It was
Yeah.
like, whoa. It was like, all right. It's it's interesting.
It is. It
I've looked
is.
back on
It's
my mom's life too, and I've made some correlations with living that overlap of
hmm
my mom's. Yeah, it's actually an overlay
hmm
that a template, if you want to
Yeah.
say, and I recognized that with my dad a long time ago and was like, uh-uh. But with my mom, we're so close, and I started talking to her and getting more information out of her. She's 77 years old, so she didn't want to say. It's hard to, from that generation, it's hard to get them to spill it, right? But
Yeah.
once I started going through this, and then hearing some of the stories that she was telling me that I was finally actually hearing after 52 years,
Whew.
it started making sense to me.
Yeah.
So I had to peel that overlay off and go, okay. And I'm still doing it. It's not, so I, it's not an easy process. And my mother was loving and caring and, um,
But
ER nurse that
sometimes,
works.
right, sometimes that loving and caring though is toxic. It's not always healthy either. Sometimes it's overly, and I've experienced that with my son. So
So I
I
was
can see it.
how is how does your son are you noticing um things with your son um with all of this with what you're doing with the journey that you're walking now?
So yeah. So here's a kind of to tie into what you're saying, what we were just saying, and my son Braden. Um, I think like when we come into this world, right? We come into it with this love and feeling all this love and compassion and like as babies and then we feel that until we don't feel that anymore or until that shift feels where we all of a sudden words start to hear or become weapons or traumas or actions, and at that point we start realizing what love isn't.
Mm, mm,
And so all that becomes you protecting yourself, and it's like this energetic carbon layer. Every time something happens, you boom, you put it up, boom, you just keep building this little shadow shell. And so I've watched and observed that with like my son, myself, and my healing journey. And I can see because I left my son's life when he was like 18 months old. And
mm-hmm.
so I went to prison for almost 6 years. And so originally the doctors and all the medical people, they all told Lacey, they were like, I know you said not to use names. I don't think
Well,
any
it's
of
okay.
them.
Okay.
So it's me, it's
I,
my life.
I just don't want any finger pointing, you know what I
No,
mean?
not finger
Yeah.
pointing.
Okay.
I don't do that. So
Okay.
I, so yeah, I like, I forgot where I was even going with this. Oh, so I went to prison with, and then, and all the medical people, they're like, oh, he's young enough. I don't think it'll have an impact or an effect on him. But I can see that he is more dominant towards his mother and feminine energy because I was absent for a period of time in his life. So I'm struggling. It's getting better. Things have gotten much better as I'm becoming better for sure. I'm starting to connect with him more on that. But there's just like this hard disconnect of me and him trying to connect for a period of time because he was so attached to his mom. But then looking back at it too, I kind of put him where I was as a kid. Like
Yeah.
I'm absent. Braden now has stepped up and he is fulfilling that role with his
Mhm.
mom and in the house. And so now I'm at kind of competition with him, trying to get him kind of away from his mom so I can start getting him more into his boyhood and early manhood here. But it's happening slowly.
Yeah. It just takes some time.
Yeah, for sure.
It does.
Yeah.
Um, when you when you go through all of these different modalities that you do, what is one relevant, always one relevant thing that you come back out with that's a constant? Is there a is there something, let's see how I can frame this. Um, is there one constant thing that even though you go through all of the different modalities and you're is there one constant thing that's a positive thing that you come out with?
Okay, so
Did that make sense? Did that
yeah,
okay.
I've done so much stuff and I've tried so much stuff in this journey. For a long time, I got my highest progression with nothing. And then when I just started, I got curious, and as things have kind of called to me, I've experienced with them.
Hmm,
And when things haven't called to me and I've experienced with them, it hasn't been a good experience. So the one thing that I will say like has been the greatest thing for me is intention and doing something when I feel called to it. When
gotcha.
I've done something like I went, me and Christine did a Cambo ceremony. I went to go do it for her. I went to go hold
Mhm.
space for her and take her to do it. And the lady, like, I had no interest in it. Like, it didn't feel called to me. And at that point in my life, I felt great. I even sat with myself and asked myself, I'm like, should I do it? And it was a no. And I went in there and she did it. And then the lady was like, talking. She talked me into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Oh my God. I feel like it shifted and changed and threw me off trajectory for a while. Like
Mhm.
I was so my recommendation would be to not do something unless you feel aligned with it because otherwise like it could set you back like you
Mhm.
know. So
Yeah,
that's been
I've experienced that before with a Reiki practitioner in particular.
yeah,
Um, I've experienced that, like, whoa, wait a minute, what just happened?
right. You're bringing their energy in.
Mm,
Yeah. So you got to make sure like you're aligned with what you're doing, like for sure. Like it was an experience.
yeah, I went to go make a new connection with her because she had been a friend and we had parted ways for a while.
Hmm.
Because there was a lot of projections there. And so I was like, you know what? This will be a good way to reconnect, to show her that I believe in her, you know? And and I even texted her and I said, I love you. And she goes, you love me? Why? And I said, because you're you. And she just couldn't wrap her mind around that. And I said, you know what? I said, I'll come and get a Reiki session from you. And when I did, you could tell a difference afterwards. And it wasn't an experience that I will choose again. I will
Yeah.
listen. There was a break there for a reason.
Hmm.
So I understand that part of it, or understand that part of it, and I've looked at it as a reflection as well.
So I'll tell you, I kind of something that I learned on my palm reading journey.
Yes, please.
So I for a while, like I would go see psychic people, or I'd be around people like that. And a lot of times they don't tell me anything. They would tell like the person I'm with, I'm around. They're like, "Be careful with him. He's special," or "He's this," or you know what I mean? And I'm like, people like talking about stuff. Like they just say that stuff, you know what I mean? And then I do this palm reading. Well, I had another reading, and the Cambo lady, actually, at that time when she talked me into it, that's kind of what made me feel good. I'm like, this lady is speaking to me. She's like talking about like how like I'm connected and I'm divinely protected and I'm spiritually aligned. And I'm like, she's speaking my language. Like, cool,
All
yeah,
the
let's do
feel
this.
good.
Let's do this, Cambo.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so then I do the poem reading, and she's like, "Hey," she's like, Meryl's. She says, "You are. I'm spiritually aligned, like by design." She's like, "That's like extremely rare." She's like, "That doesn't really exist. Most people have to like do things." She's like, "You're there."
Hmm.
And so then I was like, "Oh, well, that kind of makes more sense now." Why, like, and then I had an experience afterwards with this other lady. She's like, "Well, how did you find spirituality?" Like in the depths of hell. You know what I mean? She, I didn't understand that question. And then she started explaining it to me. Oh, I found it through Buddhism and my husband. And I'm like, oh, like, you mean like spiritual, like, like outside resources. I guess that would help you find spiritualism within inside you. I get it. Like, no, I did all mine through hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Spirituality is not religion.
Right.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I,
I woke up to energies that were, I was like, what? And the shaman that was helping me, she goes, I don't understand. She goes, and I've never, she says, I've never had this happen before. She says, but you are connected to so many ancient, like
yeah.
the Canaanites and the Samaritans. And she's like, these names of these beings are coming up, and I could hear them,
Yeah.
the voices. And she was like, what? And within 6 months, she was gone. She wouldn't even mentor me anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, what do I do? Because I was still in that religion belief, going, I had on that what I had only known, you know, but never lived it, but that's what I knew,
Mm.
what was called demonic energy. And I I just kept going, you I don't know, like and then I started learning, oh okay, here's projections and thought forms and all of that, how to everything has a positive and negative, and you can bring that energy into union where it walks with you as an ally, as an adorner. And I had to go through the was like, I just kept saying, you know what? No, I'm not going to project on that archetype or that energy. I'm not. No, religion's already done that.
Yeah.
I'm not going there. So I just kept going, you know what? I don't care what anybody says about you. I feel amazing. My journey is progressing. I'm learning. Was it easy? No. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
People thought I was crazy, but I'm like, it's going somewhere. I know it's going somewhere, you know? And there's where I really found out what spirituality was, how to bring that all together and to stop telling people what to believe and only talk from my experience and accept everyone as they are. As far as, beliefs and all of that. I mean, well, anything and everyone.
Yeah. You should
Um,
see everyone where they're at. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, not, because there for a while, man, I was banging on some Christians. I was like, woo, you know, and I was like,
So
but I got put
I
in
have
place real quick though.
I have learned kind of spirit, like it lives in the craziest forms and ways. I will see
It
people
does.
that are immersed in religion and they are just spiritually blessed, and you can see it and they're gifted and it's in them.
Hmm.
And I can see them even from afar kind of struggling with the religions and dynamics, but it's just like they are connected with it. And so it's like I think it hides in weird forms. I do understand what religion is and the control and all that, but it's I think spirits and everything.
Yeah, that's I kind of like sum it up as the only word that I have found that kind of describes it as being an ominist.
Yeah,
And
I agree with that.
yeah, that's seeing, that there's many truths out there and many lies,
Yeah,
and they go hand in hand.
yeah.
Um,
Duality. Yeah,
so it's really a matter of, how do we unify them? How do we
yeah,
unify this, what we're talking about, this feminine energy and this masculine energy,
right.
and bring it into balance and bring it into
Yeah,
partnership and compassion for and adornation for one another, and work in that space equally,
yeah.
um or unit or unified union, whatever you want to call it. um that's do you think that that's where we're at, is when you look out at the collective?
I think it's happening.
I do too.
So I look at it as right now. I see the image of the old feminine collapsing. I see
Mhm.
this where it's this like kind of really sharp now. I'm Shira, I'm carrying the world. Now it's becoming more softer and nurturing. And then on the other side, on the more outside world, the masculine side, I see it is falling apart. It's crumbling. That ideology of control and manipulation and through even through
Mhm.
politics and
Mhm.
that all that shit's fading. People aren't really buying into that anymore.
Yeah.
Like I think the purity of the masculine and feminine is coming back, and I think that's what's happening and it's restoring. And I think even Gaia, the globe, the world, whatever, I think is going through the same transition.
Yeah.
I think it's all happening. Everything is one, like you say, like, you
Yeah.
know, it's all
Mhm.
one. Everything's connected. It's all
It's
healing.
so wild. Like years ago, all I could channel was unconditional love, unified, divine unconditional love. And I didn't even fully could conceptualize that, right?
Right.
And then it was like, okay, remember this, because now we're going to drop you on your head and spin you around a few times and see where you land.
Yeah.
It's like, but I'm slowly like seeing that come back into formation. Um, I think the moments before us are going to be, we've been prepared for. And I don't mean just me and you. I mean the world is has been prepared for it, but you have a choice.
It is.
It is a
It is
choice.
a choice. You can choose to heal and grow, or you're gonna you're do this again another time. So I've watched it. I've been watching it happen. I've been watching people that have refused to change or give up and
Mhm.
hang on to stuff. I've watched them like not they're not here no more. You know what I mean? The people around me that are like growing and going and
Mhm.
like they're prospering. Like, I mean, they're going through fucking chaos, but at the same time, like I see blessings and great things happening for people that are like going through the fire. And then I see the other side of it. So I know it's happening. I see it changing.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the prosperous side, the financial part of it.
Both of us.
I'm like, come on, got to pay rent next month.
I'm
Uh,
there right now.
it's like, we moved into this new place, and last 2 weeks ago, my daughter lost her job. So everything that I get right now pays the rent, but it doesn't pay
Yeah,
anything else. So
yeah,
she's been searching for another job, and it has been nerve-wracking. And you know, she has that worry because I've been a recovering addict for I got 14 years, and then I just relapsed last year after her surgery and all that kind of stuff. I went into a spiral and relapsed and was in the hospital for 7 days because of it.
hmm
So I found a lot of positives in that, though. I, s- I saw the strength of my daughter in a unified being. I mean, when I say like the the soft, loving, kind mommy, I love you more than anything in this world energy, and that strength that she showed during that time was just makes you want to weep.
yeah,
Um, so there are so many positives, and I hold on to those positives about it. And I look at the world and I go, everything's going to be okay. It's going to work out. There is no other choice.
mm
There's no other choice.
We're growing. Once you stop focusing on the negative shit that's happening and all
Yeah.
the you like you can actually see the transition and the beauty when you start looking at the giant and larger picture. You're like, okay, things are happening for like this for a reason.
Yeah.
And we are heading into a much better, much less control, free human society that is much better for all of us. Like
Mhm.
we're just in this really like fucked up transition and
It's
like I'm
it.
feeling it. I
So
think everyone I
the
think
people
everyone
out
is.
there are really struggling with there's a lot of what I've seen, what I've just witnessed in speaking with others and online and all of that. The thoughts. The thoughts are really big right now.
Yeah.
And how to bring those back into coherence and like recalibrate them. Even myself, like I'm learning new ways to recalibrate myself to bring in that coherence, um, so that they don't get so I don't keep spiraling into the negativity and try and it's I know for me it's been really difficult. I mean, I
Yeah.
literally like throw up my hand and go stop. And that is like that's a boundary. Spirit
Yeah.
come in. It's like you don't realize that you're realizing it now. You're seeing it now, but when you throw your hand up in the middle of sleep and you go stop, you're actually setting a boundary for
Yeah.
physical and energetic. I mean, I'm like, okay, because you could wake up with some crazy ass thoughts, and you're like, really? It is like beating your head against the wall in the shower,
Oh,
going,
I know. I had one last night. The other day I was driving through this construction zone and I'm not really paying attention. And then I realized, shit, they have photo cameras and radars. And I'm going through it and I'm probably like 9, 10 miles an hour over. So I'm probably getting a ticket. And, and I was like, fuck it, it's too whatever now. And last night I put music on in my speaker, like vibration music that aligns with like whatever I'm going through at the time.
yeah.
And it stopped playing last night, and I hear, "Oh, you got a ticket coming." At like 3 in the morning. I'm like, I fucking know. So I'm going back to bed.
Right? It is specific timings. I,
Yeah,
I'm getting the same thing. Last night, it's so weird. Right above me, I have the internet box, and it's attached to the ceiling, and the little light on it is always blue. I woke up at 4:13 this morning, and it was blinking yellow and orange and red. Like it's never done that before, but it was like blinking for like I don't
yeah,
know, an hour. It kept me up. And then it turned green and it stayed green. Now it's always been blue. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, you know, I'm
you
like,
think-
and I just became like wide awake. It was just like, oh, there is a light show going on, and I'd really like to go back to sleep, but
yeah,
so I go outside and sit for a little while and come back in and go, okay, and then try to resume nap time. But I'll hear that. It's like it's like something is trying to pit you against everything.
yeah,
And then you got the other side going, that shit is a lie.
yeah,
Sit over the balcony.
yeah. That's been my latest lesson is stopping that thought. Like I've been learning to accept and receive and believe that I'm worthy. And
Yeah,
that thought process starts coming in and it's like starts second guessing shit. Like
that's the
I'm like you. I'm in this weird stalemate financially where I've literally had money going out and really nothing coming in. And I keep getting this message to be patient and
yeah,
hold. And I'm like, well, I'm trying not to panic here, but I'm
you're
still.
right. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
how do you like
How do you not?
how do you sit in that and go, okay, well, you know what? I mean, right now I live in reality. I'm human. I know
Right.
that I got all I'm multidimensional. I know all of that, right? But do I know my humanness?
Hmm.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, welcome back to the human body. It's a
Yeah.
crazy place.
It is.
And I'm also hearing that, I get the messages all the time. Be patient. You have no clue. You can't even comprehend
What's coming?
what is coming.
I keep getting
If
the
you
same
would just
message.
sit down, get the effing out of the way,
Yeah.
and let us do our thing because we're bringing everything in.
Yeah.
But then you've got chirpers that
Yeah.
tell you you got to do A, B, and C and D to get this and that. And they're like, no, just sit in the chair, slide back, and watch. It's like, okay, but you got 2 weeks. You got 2 fucking weeks, universe. I'm gonna stay positive here, but you got 2 fucking weeks. And I think of that movie, Show Me the Money.
Yeah. I keep telling me, show me. I'm ready.
Oh boy. Well, they say the one thing that we most are fixated on is the lesson that we're learning. And I go, I get it. I get that I'm fixated or that I've been focused on financial stability because of what I just experienced, what I just came out of, which I completely see as a positive thing. I learned so much,
Right.
as you have coming out of your relationships, all of my relationships, I look back and I go, and my daughter said this yesterday as well. She says, I don't regret anything.
Hmm.
I take what I learned. They're so wise today. She'll be 25 at the end of this month. And I go, and she says, but mom, you still talk about negative stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't really think of it as negative. It's memories that I'm like going back into, going, the positive in this is where's the balance, you know? And why am I so, when I've never been worried about finances, why is that so, ugh? And it's just be patient. That's what I get. Just be patient. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I live in reality. It, they,
Uh,
I mean, people don't think twice about evicting people these days or ever.
right.
So how do
Yeah.
you get past that?
Trust. You just gotta
That's
trust and believe.
trust and have faith.
Surrender.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do. I go, I throw my hands up. I surrender. I'm like, I'm sitting in the chair and I'm just witnessing, like I'm
If
watching.
I Usually if I'm not in my head and I'm doing what I'm supposed to, just watching, then I find stuff.
Yeah.
But if I'm lost in my head and I'm like distracting myself, I usually find myself in a worse situation because I've probably missed opportunities on the way. So
Mm.
yeah, it is a game of patience and be observant and be open and available to what's coming, really. It's a game. It's a game. Yeah,
Um, I can only, you can only just at this point where we all are is having that patience and faith that
yeah,
you've got to have something to hold on to,
yeah.
you
I
know.
I went back to my shaman a second time recently because I was like, that was my thing. I was like, I gotta know this shit's over. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm dragging myself into your door right now.
Look at my computer.
She's like, yeah, we did another retrieval in this thing, and she's like, it's done. She's like, you just need to start opening yourself up to receive. She's like, it's done. Your cycles are done. I'm like, okay, I needed to hear that.
Yeah. So it was affirmed for you. It was affirmed and you
Yeah,
accept it. Yeah.
yeah,
That's kind of what I get too. And it's just hard. It's difficult to see it when you've still got someone that is lives in the programming with you.
for sure. Yeah. That's what my main thing, even to Meryl, was like on reading my poem. I was like, I want to know, like, I was, I want to know what the shaman says. I'm looking for a double confirmation, and I was looking for some clarity on some other shit, like, because I was like, I don't want to repeat this relationship cycle. I was like, I want to make sure that I'm done, and
Yeah.
that's what she was like. You're done. You just need to be patient. She's like your divine counterpart. You're calling her in now. You just need to chill. So I'm trying. I'm
Yeah.
trying. So yeah.
The being alone part is not fun
Yeah.
when you're used to being in the um being in a,
Container. A little,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's like, I don't want to do this alone anymore.
right.
I want to
And
share this with someone. I want to share this experience with someone, you know?
yeah, it'll happen. You just gotta let go. It'll
Yep.
all come in alignment. Yeah, for sure.
So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I'm opening my phone back up, but I wanted to ask you, unless you had something else to share.
No, I'm good.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. If you if you could leave the listeners with one piece of insight from your experience, what would it be?
Yeah. But it's been such an experience. There's so much.
Let's just a positive experience.
I think as much as with what's happening and going on in today's world, I think the best thing you could do for yourself is turn off all the noise and fucking go outside and find yourself somewhere that's peaceful and quiet and nature, because at the end of the day, like we've been saying, like we're connected, we're all one. We heal
Mhm.
in nature. Like that's where we thrive. And so if your mind's racing and you're having trouble, like you need to ground, like just get out in nature. So,
Yeah, I go out and sit on my balcony and I look at the pool and the palm trees and
oh, you're
I
killing me.
name everything. Yeah, but I mean, waking up to 22 degrees. I sent you that picture of me with my socks with my cat slippers on. I was like, not a good look for palm tree weather. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But if I want snow, I'll come to Colorado.
Oh,
Oh my
geez.
gosh. It's been so wonderful speaking with you again. This is and I think we're gonna have you're gonna come back on the 5th.
Yeah, I'll come back
We'll
on.
we'll cover
Yeah,
we'll cover some more topics. I'll go ahead and leave you on the schedule for that.
yeah,
Um and we'll go over some different things that, maybe we could help assist through our experiences, other viewers.
for sure. We could talk about like my healing journey. I could share a lot of that, and I'm sure that would
Yeah,
be cool.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dustin. I
Yeah,
appreciate
well, enjoy your day. I appreciate you having me on.
absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. I look forward to doing it again soon.
all right. I love you, Hara.
I love you too. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye. Hi, everyone. This is Hera with Ancient Voice Rising. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. One last thing, as we had wrapped up this, I have a quote I would like to share with you. Life shifts are never easy, but showing up for yourself is always worth it. Remember, you're always worth it, and you're more than enough. You are loved and supported. You are appreciated and respected. With my unwavering love, thank you for watching this episode today. Peace and harmony to you all.